as the holiday approaches and the holiday approaches, Christmas holiday approaches, and whatever holiday comes in between or afterward. And as a person, oh, this nice backdrop. Anyway, as a postal worker, a clerk, as your local postal worker, and I will address this issue which I've been wanting to address for some years now. What does not go in the mail? First of all, money does not go in the mail. I seen one time it was a ball of money piled up. It was gonna end up getting sit on the. Couldn't mail that out. The money tore and it just had to sit on wherever the guy's supervising was. And some of the stuff ends up in the supervising, and the people had that idea of mailing those driver's license and through. There's a certain way you mail it. You put it in the way you put it a card, like when they mail you the credit card, not throw it in the envelope and mail it out. Keys do not go in the mail. Pens, pencils, candy does not go in the mail. Not even a little mint. Cause I was processing mail and I saw a bunch of mints. Mints was all on the one person decided they was gonna mail out a whole bunch of letters with peppermint lightsabers in it. One lightsaber. I think it was spearmint. Anyway, it were lightsabers. One lightsaber in the envelope. And they thought they would mail that out. And pens and pencils. Keys do not go in. Flash drives do not go in. And you do not put hand cancel and non-machinable on it. Because everybody doesn't see the non-machinable. If you have a whole bunch of envelopes coming in together, you may not see that thickness in that mail. Jewelry does not go in there. You got people mailing bracelets, necklaces. That stuff will fall out the machine. The envelope may tear inside the machine. People mailing all stuff with wood and all this type of stuff on there. Everything is not. Stuff comes out the envelope. Those pencils, those pens, they come out the envelope. Those gift cards you try to put in the envelope, you better make sure that envelope is sealed real good or that gift card will fall right out the envelope. You mail a check, you make sure that check is secure in that envelope and not in an envelope that may tear. Don't just put the check in the envelope and mail it and put stuff and mail it off. And people mailing their bills off, I would put it in a priority envelope and mail it off. Because it may tear up. Make sure the envelope, make sure the address in the one with the window with the see-through part of the envelope, make sure the address is showing that it's going to. Because if you don't put that in there the right way, somebody has to open up the envelope and put it in there the correct way. You don't want people to open up your mail to fix your mail inside your envelope. People mailing pictures. You say they're pictures, they're photos. Photos don't bend. I look at stuff that say don't bend. I'm like, do they know that this stuff goes through a machine? Do they know the boxes go through them? Like these boxes and these flat letters and stuff go through a machine too? Do they know? They go through a machine that turns and twists and turns and twists. So earrings, jewelry, necklaces, candy. People done put lollipops in there. You know how much I seen stuff break around February when they had around Valentine's Day? I seen Skittles inside the machine, M&Ms inside the machine, because when you put that stuff in an envelope and that goes through a machine that twists and turns and bends, don't say don't bend. Watch your kids. Watch what your kids are putting in the envelope. Don't say, hand cancel. Because we cannot guarantee you that it's going to be hand canceled, be sorted through a person. There are plenty of people who work the areas where they manually sort the mail. There are plenty of manual hand sorters that sort the mail manually when the mail comes out and rejects from our machines and different things like that. And some stuff is non-machinable, and y'all have all these slippery cards and these plastic cards. Plastic cards are not good for the machine because they break and they tear. And say you're going to put a plastic card coupons on it, and stick these little these envelopes that you open up, and this has the coupon in it. That stuff, if the mail tears, that little coupon thing will fall out in the machine. We didn't do it. We didn't break it up. We didn't tear the mail open. The machine did that. The machine tears the mail. Some of these long cards, these little tiny little postcards, could get torn in the machine. It's the machine. And it's another piece of jams and few pieces jam up together. These little slippery cards. And these people who mailing out these envelopes, this collection of church envelopes, and they put them in a nice box. A little nice little box, and mail it out. Because some of those stuff is hard to feed through the machine, and they tear. And a lot of them end up in rejects. And they have to be manually sorted. We have plenty of manual sorters, but there are more people who work on the machines, the letter processing machines to process the mail, than process for the manual. And we have a Nixie section of the machine that if your mail gets all torn up and all damaged and torn up, we have a Nixie. And if it rains and people want to mail out a whole bunch of advertisement and it rains and your mail sticks together, it might sit up in Nixie for a while, because if it rains, certain types of mail stick together. You say, I'm going to send out advertisements. And I'm going to send out these advertisements to people in a certain area. And if it rains, if it has some rains, some mail sticks together. And so much stuff sticks together when it starts to get bad weather. And if I'm mailing out a bill, I say it's not as good to mail, you mail out your bill. I would put it in a priority envelope, because I was mailing out stuff, and to make sure people got it, I put it in a priority envelope. Because the priority envelope is a strong envelope, which will stay together. Because if you put the return slip and they say, oh, haven't had problems with mailings before. Sometimes I call. I've mailed stuff through the mail. And I'm planning to mail some stuff through the mail in the future, because people are going to get some letters and messages from me through the mail. Because it's good to mail stuff. I'm not discouraging you from mailing. Some stuff you might have to put in a priority envelope to make sure it's in a nice secure envelope and make sure it's taped together. And if you're gonna mail out gift cards in a card, make sure you might put it in a priority envelope so that and make sure it's sealed together, because I see, and if it's really thick, if that little card is really thick goes through the machine, you know how many gift cards I seen come out the cards, envelopes tear, birthday cards, all kinds of cards, they tear apart. They say, why? So I sent you a card. You didn't get it? No, it tore in the DBCS machine. It tore in the machine. And this part of it was here, and this part of it was there, and it was too damaged for Nixie to put it back together. The Nixie section. I call it each post office. I worked at different post offices, and they have a Nixie section. So if the mail is all torn up and all damaged, all messed up, they have a person, Nixie, that puts it back together. And I say coins. Yeah, these businesses try to mail coins in an envelope. They try to mail change in an envelope. Change can fall through the machine. You know how much change I've seen through the machine? I'm not stealing the change, because I have to put the change in Nixie, and they'll tell them where that comes, that Nixie. It's just that I'm explaining the fact money does not go in the mail. If you're going to mail money like that, put it in a nice box and seal it really good with some strong tape. Because if you put it in a regular envelope or irregular envelope for your cards or whatever, I can't guarantee it won't get torn in the machine. Because a lot of stuff gets torn in the machine. A lot of stuff doesn't go through the mail. I'm going to put up on the screen stuff that doesn't go in the mail, and in the other and you can follow me on these platforms. And then at the end of this video, I'm going to put on the screen what doesn't go in the mail, so you will know what doesn't go in the mail, which end up in the machine. I've seen stuff end up in the machine. You don't want the stuff to end up in the machine. Because I know what tears and ends up in the machine. Because I process the mail. And I'm telling you, so the mail that you mail can get to where it's going. And it might, so I can guarantee you that it doesn't get torn in the machine, and it doesn't fall apart and have to end up in the Nixie part of the post office, of the manual mail processing section. I just care because I care. And I have the backdrop, smiling and looking at you doing this video because I care. And I get annoyed at all this little slippery mail that's hard to process. Y'all mailing these slippery cards with these glossy stuff. Doesn't go good in the machine. Sometimes it tears and it messed up. This plastic, all this plastic cards and this glossy stuff, they tear easy in the machine. Now we'll put at the end of this video, the stuff that does not go in the mail. Please don't put them in the regular envelopes. You can mail some of this stuff, but you best to mail it in a box. So I'm going to put it at the end of this video.